How did the war begin? In 1939, when Germany invaded Poland. I was studying abroad in Germany. In my memoir, I described the situation of that year as follows. The weather was warm and sunny. The birds were singing. Flowers were blooming. Everyone was going on picnics. Children were eagerly lining up to buy tickets for the amusement park. No one could have imagined that this day marked the beginning of World War II, a new rising power. And that inevitably means a confrontation between world powers. When a new great power emerges, it will inevitably challenge the existing great powers. And the existing powers will inevitably respond to this challenge. Simply put, in international relations, the top dog and the challenger will inevitably have a confrontation. War can come at any time. This is the theory proposed by Professor Graham Mallison from Harvard University in 2012, the Thucydides Trap. This theory immediately gained widespread agreement from strategic analysts around the world. The reason is simple. The Thucydides Trap is reinforced by historical events. The most obvious example is in the past 100 years. The US has repeatedly neutralized the threats from Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, the British Empire, the Soviet Union, and the European Union. Only 5 challengers in the world. By defeating all of these challengers, the US was able to maintain its global dominance for 80 years. That is the US-China relationship today an exception. Americans believe it is not possible. The Chinese also believe it is not possible. Looking back at the US-China relationship over the past 20 years, it could actually be summarized by the Thucydides Trap. During the decade from 2000 to 2018, America's main economic adversary was the European Union, and its main military adversary was Russia. To weaken the potential threat from the Russia-EU alliance, US strategists chose to bring China into the World Trade Organization. During this time, China was an unofficial ally of the US. Goods produced in China contributed more to the American standard of living than any other country. However, things have changed as China's growth exceeded expectations, and the US did not anticipate such rapid development. In the US's original plan, no matter how fast China's development was, China's GDP per capita in 2020 will only reach around $3,000. This could not pose a real threat to the US, but in reality, China's GDP per capita in 2020 was $10,500, far exceeding expectations. Not only did China's economic strength grow rapidly, but also its military, political diplomacy, and cultural influence expanded greatly, and China has gained the ability to challenge US global dominance. As the Thucydides Trap predicts, China has become the challenger, and now, the US, as the dominant power, will not easily give up its position. After Trump took office in 2017, the US quickly changed its policy, viewing China as its biggest competitor. Trade wars, tariffs, tech wars, and political tensions erupted. From being an unofficial ally, China became the US's main competitor. Now, more than 7 years later, the facts have shown that China not only endured all of America's attacks, but became stronger with each confrontation. Now, with a growing economic and military power, China can force the US to reconsider its strategies and policies. And the US knows that this challenge is real. China has the ability to outlast America in a protracted confrontation. This is why the US needs to act now. The stakes are higher than ever before. The global order could change. The Thucydides Trap is not a prediction, it's a warning. If the US fails to respond effectively, the consequences could be disastrous. Now, it's a race against time. Both sides are preparing for what's to come, and the world is watching. Will the Thucydides Trap be avoided? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear. The world is watching closely. The future of global power is at stake. What will the future hold for the US and China? The battle for global supremacy is just beginning. The world is on the brink of a new era. The question is, who will lead it? Only time will reveal the answers. And when that time comes, history will judge us. What will the legacy of the US-China rivalry be? The world is waiting for the next chapter. We are on the edge of something monumental. This is the story of the future. The US and China, two giants, battling for supremacy. The world is watching. The stakes have never been higher. The time to act is now, and history will judge the choices we make today. The battle for the future begins now. Who will win? We will soon find out. and the world will be watching. As tensions rise, we stand at a crossroads. The US and China, both giant nations, are locked in an escalating rivalry. The decisions made in the coming years will determine the future of global power, and history is watching closely. Will the US maintain its position, or will China rise as the new leader? The rivalry is more than just about politics. It's about economics, military power, and influence. The stakes are higher than ever before, and the global community is anxiously awaiting the outcome. This isn't just a battle between two countries. It's a fight that will shape the world order for generations. The question remains, who will emerge victorious? Will the US adapt to the shifting balance of power, or will China continue to rise, unchallenged? The world watches closely as both nations prepare for what's next. It's not just about who is right or wrong. It's about who will hold the keys to the future. The US and China struggle isn't new, but the consequences today are unprecedented. The world has never been this interconnected, and the consequences of this rivalry will affect everyone. It's not just the US or China at stake, but the entire global order. What happens in this rivalry will define the next century. The choices made in Washington and Beijing will ripple across the world, influencing every nation. Will the US lead the world in the face of this challenge? Or will China's growth continue to outpace the West? The battle for global influence is now in full swing. It's a battle for the future, for control, and for leadership on the world stage. This is not just about who wins today, but who controls tomorrow. The entire world is caught in the crossfire. As we look to the future, one thing is certain. The US-China rivalry will define the future of our world. The world is already feeling the pressure. Every decision, every move matters. The next few years will determine much. We are living through a critical moment in history. What happens next is anyone's guess, but the world is paying close attention. The stakes are higher than ever before. The world's future is on the line, and we will all feel the impact of what's to come. The US-China rivalry is more than just a contest of power. It's a defining struggle for the future of humanity. What happens next will change the world. The question is, who will lead, and who will be left behind? Only time will reveal the outcome of this battle. But one thing is for certain. The world will never be the same. The US and China, two giants, locked in a struggle for global dominance. This is the future we are shaping. The question is, what will it look like, and who will come out on top? The world is waiting, and the clock is ticking. Only time will tell how this story ends, and when it does, history will judge us all. This is just the beginning. A new era is upon us, and the battle for global supremacy is on.